why would you have an expectation on the delivery? That will depend on what the next step that delivery is going to do, right? One step leads to another one. If you have an expectation from the first, then you will not be able to progress to the next one. So what we say is, do your duty. Do not have expectations on what the result would be, right or wrong. You just do what is according to the plan. What you took as a vow, what did you take as a resolve? Do your action. Leave the result, because that result, if you hold on to it, then you will be stuck in the loop of only that act. But we are talking about a series of acts, one leading to another one, another one leading to another one. So it's like the water flowing. Water flows from the top down. In between, whatever comes, it just changes its path. It has no fixed path. It depends on the situation, circumstances. Hence, between cause and effect, the most important element is the conditions. So can you create conditions so that your journey to your resolution's completeness is smooth and easy? That's your journey.
So are we rolling? And action. So I just wanted to say that because as we all know today, welcome everyone. Today from Shunya Meditation Studio, we come live and share this. I think the most interesting and the most important topic, which is karma, the time to deliver, and we are going to do it with Dr. Rajesh Savera. So welcome, Rajesh sir,
Good morning.
and good morning. So I mean, it's such an interesting topic because here it is. I think I believe that everything that can go on, like, either we move ahead from this or start moving, whatever it is, it's this action step where everybody falls either ahead or back or whatever it is. So like, we have done the resolution part, and then we have covered up the qualities which were important for a resolution. Then because we became that container ourselves, and we showed the intention, then we went on with the conversation, and you shared that it is only that you have been only working on the mental level.
Yeah.
Now, still you have to put this out into the field, and that is where you're going to begin. So I'll hand this over to you, the topic karma,
Yeah.
and hope you can share it with us.
Yeah, so till now, what we were doing was, when we started the resolution series, we first set up the whole storyline.
Mm.
Okay, before we actually went into shoot.
Mm.
Today actually is when you have freeze the story, you have freeze the characters who are going to play the movie.
Mm.
You know everything that is been done now.
Mm.
Now is, as you started this session with action,
Mm.
like time for action, because
Mm.
now is where the whole hero,
Mm.
villain, the drama is going to begin.
Mm.
Okay, and the movie begins from now. So karma is nothing but action,
Mm.
right? All that you planned, put into action. And this action are two ways. One, if you don't act, it still will come out as something. If you act, it will be something else. So
Mm.
it's all in action that now you'll see what it will give you as a result.
Mm.
By end of this year, what you have resolved will show up in some way as a success
Mm.
or as a failure.
Failure.
Something is going to come your way. You will not be standing in between saying, I did not get success, neither
Mm.
I got failure. You set up a goal, either you have achieved it or you have not achieved it. And the reason at the month of December, when you have achieved it, will be this acts that you did. That is why you achieved it. And the reason you did not achieve it, because this you did not do. That is why you did not achieve it.
Mm.
So this is the most important part,
Mm.
and that is why karma
Mm.
means, the word actually has kar in it,
Mm.
means to do.
Mm.
If you don't do, everything is just mental. It's just a dream. It's just a desire. And there are many dreamers out there,
Yeah.
but very less doers.
Mm.
And they say that execution is everything.
Mm.
You have thousands and millions of plans,
Mm.
great plans, amazing plans. But only those plans that actually, are executed are the ones that matter, right? Like,
Mm.
you take seeds. only those seeds that germinate and actually pass through the whole process and become a tree, that's where it matters, when it starts fruiting. So karma is the most important part of this resolution series.
Okay. And that is what we had planned for today, where we go in deeper with the. So, the first slide, if you look at it, it's about karma, which is action. So, what is karma? Like, I remember you had shared that karma is this formula of cause plus condition that equals to effect.
Yeah.
So, is that what karma is?
So karma is something that is going to happen,
Hmm.
or something that you're making it happen.
Hmm.
Both ways, right? One is through voluntary control or through an involuntary system, but action. And if you look at the existence, a thing that is alive is in some kind of action.
Hmm.
If it is not, you see a snake just lying there, not moving.
Hmm.
You see it's not moving, you take a stick and you poke it,
Hmm.
and it's still not moving. Then what do you say?
It's
Ah, it's
dead.
dead. Means it's not in any way alive. Karma is something that keeps you alive. If somebody is going to poke you and the snake is going to move, it still responded back, right? So it's alive.
Hmm.
It's that did a karma of at least responding.
Hmm.
And this sansara is full of dukkha, okay, and so much suffering. And if we don't respond to the suffering, we are like the dead snake, we are not alive. And half of the people don't realize it's in the response to the stimulus that you have in your life, one actually begins his journey of karma.
Hmm.
And one has to act. So resolution was what? Resolution was to actually poke you,
Hmm.
to get into action.
Hmm.
And now is the time for action. And you put it rightly, karma, the time to deliver,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So it's the baby was there in your womb for 9 months.
Hmm.
At the end, if it cannot remain there for the 10th month, 11th month, 12th month,
Hmm.
it has to be delivered out. And that baby has to start his journey, right?
Hmm.
So your ideas, your concepts, your resolutions, all of that now needs to go out in the open and need to be tested.
Hmm. So delivery starts like you gave an analogy of a baby. Delivery not only starts at like delivery is something we understand as a final thing. Like after all that the product has been packaged, all the branding has been done, advertisement has been done, then the product gets delivered. But you are telling us that when we take up a resolution, in that sense the delivery means when even the idea, first we conceive the idea, now the idea needs to go out in the world. Can you help us understand the contrast between that high level of delivery and the initial days of delivery?
No, when you had this mental image of what you wanted to achieve,
Hmm.
you had that vision board, you wanted to have a car, you
Hmm.
wanted a big house, you wanted to make so much money. All of that was still in the womb stage of your mind.
Hmm.
Okay, we call this the Brahmand.
Hmm.
It was in your imaginary egg.
Egg.
Okay, now that egg, after some time,
Hmm.
needs to open up, right? And it needs to then
Hmm.
get delivered out there. So now is the time to deliver. Means when I'm saying deliver, it means whatever you planned,
Hmm.
it's time to put that plan into action.
Action.
That's what I mean delivery. So even taking the first step is deliver.
Hmm.
Then the second step. And you will keep on delivering till that end of that year, 2025,
Hmm.
right? This year.
Hmm.
And this year, December, this is what you're waiting for. That finally, how big is the child that you have actually conceived at the time of the beginning of the year, and how big the child has grown, and how successful that child has become through the mode of action.
Hmm.
You understand? So
Yeah.
this is delivery means to keep on delivering every now and then on the basis of your resolve.
Hmm.
And that means deliverance is the only way for liberation.
So delivery is not something at the end of
No,
the.
you don't consider this like the Zomato delivery or something.
Hmm.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
I'm talking about deliverance, the mother delivering a baby out in the
Hmm.
world. So now a businessman delivering a plan that he had into the world through by setting up his factory, or setting up his systems. So that's where he's actually approaching his customers, and he's trying to do everything that he requires.
Hmm.
Maybe he's just developing product.
Hmm.
Okay, still not gone into the market, but that is still delivery.
Hmm.
He is doing something tangible now. Mental part is over. Now all the sensual part will come into play.
Hmm. Okay. So then, like, how should we understand? Okay, then that is the series, I think so, because the question was very funny that I was directly going to ask you the final thing, like, how should you understand what the delivery uh, is right or wrong. Like,
No, why would you have an expectation on the delivery?
hmm,
That will depend on what the next step that delivery is going to do, right? One step leads to another one. If you have an expectation from the first, then you will not be able to progress to the next one. So what we say is, do your duty. Do not have expectations on what the result would be, right or wrong. You just do what is according to the plan. What you took as a vow, what did you take as a resolve? Do your action. Leave the result, because that result, if you hold on to it, then you will be stuck in the loop of only that act. But we are talking about a series of acts, one leading to another one leading to another one. So it's like the water flowing. Water flows from the top down. In between, whatever comes, it just changes its path. It has no fixed path. It depends on the situation, circumstances. Hence, between cause and effect, the most important element is the conditions. So, can you create conditions so that your journey to your resolution's completeness is smooth and easy? That's your journey.
Okay. So I think that's the most important part here, like what we are going to cover up today, because execution and the act, what the words you're using, we have lined it up to understand those from you. As the second thing is the law of karma, which you're talking about, is it unbiased?
Of course, it is unbiased. You fall from a 10th floor, okay, and without helmet, and another person also falls. Both will get what they have to get.
Yeah.
The worst thing is if that fellow is a nice heavy one and the other one is a light one, the effect will be a little different. But being unbiased, it will give you what it has to give. That's why the law of karma is always shown with a weighing scale.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you see, the Indian judicial system has the lady with the a black ribbon on
Blind.
her eyes holding the weighing scale. That it means that she will not be biased with anyone. She will pass the judgment completely unbiased. That's exactly what I mean when I say karma.
Okay. So the karma is this law which is always unbiased. According to what we put on the other side, we'll be judged according to that. It's not that
Absolutely.
there will be something which they already have, like perceive.
Yeah.
There is no preconceived notion about what you are
Yeah.
anytime we are going to do.
True.
And that is in any situation, right? Like even if we had not done what is right, then also if we are going to do something right now, which is going to be right as per se, that will be judged according to that situation. So it helps us to move out of those difficult situation instead of going into that mode of, oh, we were not doing it right or something like that.
Mhm. So, like yesterday, I met somebody who was came for counseling.
Hmm.
Okay, she started telling me that I did so much good in my life.
Hmm.
Then why did bad happen to me?
Hmm.
Now, because bad happened to me, hereafter I'm never going to do good again. So I just told her that why don't you see the other side? Maybe you did so much good in your life that you still have this time to converse and have a conversation on the things that have happened in your life. Even this is good.
Hmm.
Okay. Imagine if you would have never done anything good and if it could have been worse than what you have received, then how bad it would be. So, still, do you want to continue with that notion that you are expecting with every act of goodness, something good has to come? No, no. I said that is the law of karma. It will decide when to give you what. Okay. You cannot decide when the tree will fruit, when it will flower. It all depends on the season. It all depends on the conditions. When it is right, it will do so.
Hmm. That's powerful because what you are telling us is that it does not matter of what kind of a situation was before back then. At this moment, if you are able to see that something good is happening, then make sure you stick to it. And also the external, how much is it? So like the external conditions are going to affect?
Yeah,
Is it?
when I say external conditions, they response to that conditions,
Hmm.
right? When you take a tree
Hmm.
which is not grounded in the ground, it's
Hmm.
just hanging up, and
Hmm.
even the season turns to be great, and all other trees are fruiting. This tree, because it is not grounded, it will not fruit; it will die.
Hmm.
So everything is interconnected.
Hmm.
So everything together plays a big role. Now I said we are in the mode of an movie.
Hmm.
Now when you look at a movie, it's so many actually features play into it, right?
Hmm.
The cameraman, the lightman, the the sound,
Hmm.
the hero, the heroine, the side actors, so many people make one movie that we go and watch.
Hmm.
This is exactly what happens to anything you do in life. And karma comes with an orchestra. It
Hmm.
doesn't come alone playing one string. It comes with many things attached to it. So you will always get a chance to get engaged, and you'll always get a chance to get disengaged. It's your choice. That is why I said between the cause and the effect, the conditioning is
Conditions.
where we have an opportunity to either better our life or worsen it.
So it depends on our response. It's not that we are completely at the mercy of something
No, no
external
chance.
also.
No, see, that's what, law tells you that this is the law,
Hmm.
right? If you follow the law, no problem.
Hmm.
If you don't follow,
Hmm.
this is what is going to be the consequences. It's so simple. So that is why we say, okay, follow the Panchashil.
Hmm.
Good behavior,
Hmm.
then you will definitely be a good person. People will like you and respect you. You break the Panchashil, people will definitely not like you and hate you and not do business with you. So when you have taken up a resolution and you have a plan, now is the time. How much are you in sync with that plan and resolution, and are you going to act on it?
Hmm.
Because at the end, it's your action that is going to decide whether that was right or wrong, not a fantasy that it was right and wrong. It's only in the act that you'll know it is right or wrong, not by expecting, doing.
Hmm. So now the same next question is that only, what is an act, and the what is the psychology of an action? Like, is there a psychology goes that we can understand behind it? Because if whatever we had done before the act was mental, so now is the barrier which is not letting us act, or whatever is coming in between our actions, is that also mental, or how is it?
No, now you take the mental thoughts.
Hmm.
Now you have already put them into words.
Hmm.
Okay, you had your conversation.
Hmm.
Now is putting the conversation into action. When I say action, means if you had a thought of painting something
Hmm.
and you had communicated, okay, this is what you are looking at, and you had this character. Now taking the brush,
Hmm.
taking the paint, taking the canvas, and starting to paint is an act.
Hmm.
Okay, doing is an act. When you do something, you're in act.
Hmm.
That is why that's the highest form of meditation. Doing something, being in the present and getting engaged in the world. Look at every species out there, everyone, every bird, every ant, every insect, whatever it is, everybody are doing something.
Hmm.
They are in the mode of act.
Hmm.
Hardly would you see the bird sitting there and scratching his head and thinking that, oh, what should I do? Have you seen any of the species, any dog or animal going into a psychiatric depression or something? No. You see, they are all in the mode of action. But you look at human beings. Human beings are so much in this mental, you can say, chaos or confusion, that their acts stop and they just churn themselves mentally. And then they go through these mental symptoms like anxiety, depression. And that's where the biggest problem is, because the person does not execute something. That is why when somebody is in that state, we tell them, get your body into action. When the mind is still, let the body act. When the body acts, actually, it actually helps to still the mind again. Okay. Or if the mind is agitated, again go and let the body act. Because again, when the body acts, the mind will still again. So it is together that they work. Okay. So it's important that you know that it's through the body that you can affect the mind, and it's through the mind you can actually activate the body. So now you have done your resolution, you have finished your three parts of it. You put in the resolve, you put in the intention, you put in the conversation.
Conversation.
Now is the time to make yourself accountable and responsible to perform the act.
Hmm.
Now is time for performance.
Okay. So then, what? How do we lead into this performance, and what is an execution here? Like, why do many people fall? Not fall, but fail to execute. What?
Because they keep it mentally. They like to churn mentally, because mentally you feel great, right? You
Hmm.
have a plan. Okay, I'm going to make $10. I'm going to make from $10. I'm making 100. I'm going to make 1,000. This is just dreaming. But they enjoy this. They go out talking to people. See, I have this plan. This is what it is, and they go out talking to many people.
Hmm.
But when it comes up to, oh, great,
Hmm.
how much did you sell?
Hmm.
How much of this product has been bought by people?
Hmm.
And they know, this is just a plan.
Hmm.
So what, that's just a mental imagination,
Hmm.
and that doesn't exist. It's
Hmm.
just an illusion. What actually you are doing at that very moment, what results you're getting from your doing is what matters. Right? You cannot say that I have a handful of grains and I'm going to keep them and I'm going to feed the whole world. Doesn't work like that. You have to take the handful of grains, sow it in the sand or in the soil, and then take care of it, nurture it, work on it. When you get the crop, maybe this handful of grain has become a big load of grains with which you can fill the world. So that's how it is. So action is converting mental thoughts into real actionable items through which you can see some tangible results, something that you can actually exchange with people. Mental exchange of ideas doesn't satisfy anything, right? We are in talking about the physical world. In this physical world, there should be tangible results, and tangible results are only possible if there is action.
Oh, actually, when listening to you, it's more that even we or people tend to be into more of that mode of talking only. It's very rarely that you would see people who are always in action mode, like doing something, doing something, doing something. They keep
So
on
you
doing
see,
something.
when you are doing this 8-step path,
Mm-hmm.
we started with resolution. People are super excited with resolution,
Yeah.
but they forget they remain in that loop of resolution.
Mm.
Okay, I want this, I want this. And they live in the desire world, never to do anything finish. But people who move from the loop of resolution into the loop of intention,
Mm.
I want to do it. Yeah, whatever happens, I'm going to do it. This is what it is. And then work there. And people who are able to stay in that loop will never make it possible.
Mm.
They have a resolution, they have the intention, but nothing happens.
Mm.
Finish. They are just dreamers. But people who move out of the intentional loop and go into the conversational loop, they are the ones who will talk about it. You will actually start making things around, making vision boards and everything. Now they are using conversation. But if they are still in the loop of conversation, only talking, 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 doing nothing, they will never be able to do it. Then they have to move from the conversational loop, leave that and move into the action loop. You understood? So it's like the gear system. One gear pushing the other one pushing the other one, another one pushing the other one. So the resolution, the intention, the conversation, and the action gear all have to keep on moving together, not separate. One supports the other one supports the other one, and all have to do that. And then your action is with resolution, intention, and conversation.
So if we look at it, the ones who have already come to the stage of action, they were already in action only, because they were.
They were mental, not in action.
But moving from resolution, like you said, there are some who would be in that loop of resolution only. That means they stopped moving, right? Then there was no action which they took to move to intention also. So is
So
it?
from when you go from one dream to another dream, what action you
So it's
took?
still like.
Yeah, it's mental, right? With the mind, you can jump
So
from one
no,
mountain to
no.
another mountain.
So thinking, all of these activities which we do mentally, because we are trained mostly to do these mental activities
Yeah.
nowadays. Rarely we are getting trained to
But
be
imagine
more
somebody
active.
telling you're hungry, close your eyes, and now imagine you have a nice food in front of you and you just eat all the dishes you want. No,
It's
that is
not
not going to,
possible.
satisfy your hunger. So that's why when you put a resolution, was it only a mental resolution or was it a physical manifestation of a mental resolution?
Physical
You wanted
manifestation.
a real car, na? Did you
Yeah.
say it was a dream car? Did you say you wanted a real house, right? You did not say it was just an imaginary house in the sky I wanted. You wanted a real house. So when you're taking a mental image and want to bring it into the real world, there should be a point where it actually starts working on the real world, right? The architect's drawing, actually somebody called the civil engineer has to put that into action, start laying the bricks to make the building that he has designed. So similarly, in the mode of action, it is all about execution.
So it's not about just thinking and then.
Thinking is the easiest job. I can do that the whole day, but that's not going to solve anything.
But like it has been said, like it. Then technically, most of the training which is happening is on the thinking aspect of it. That how we think, change our thinking, and all of these things out there. Not I'm saying here technically, but on a large scale. So why is it that this has been taken up and action is not there?
Let's take an example of the Wright brothers.
Hmm.
Okay, they first had an intention. Okay, they had a resolve that we should fly. They had an intention. Okay, now we have to design something that we can fly. Then they started conversing with each other, with the world around. They seeing the bird flying. They saw, oh, they got an idea. Now, if they live there, only that, that's still a fantasy. I think before that, many people would have just been in that stage. But what they did was they took an act.
Hmm.
They did an action. They made a prototype.
Hmm.
The prototype worked, then it was good, motivating. It did not work, it was still motivating that this is not the right path, we need to change something. So the right and wrong was happening in the process of action. It was never at the mental stage. Mental stage, everything is right and beautiful, right? But in the real world, when you are really doing something, you'll realize that what
It's
you
only
thought
right
and
one.
what is act, they are totally different. Your imagination and reality are totally different. And you're interacting with this reality to convert your resolution, mental resolution, into a physical manifestation.
I mean, that's something very like it feels like it will take all of you. It's not easy to do, right?
If you leave some part of you, then what is left?
Huh.
You have to be 100% in everything,
Yeah.
right? When you took a resolution, it should have been 100% your
100%.
resolution. The intention should be 100%. The conversation should be 100%. And now the act
Should
also
be
should be
100.
100%.
Okay. So then we have compiled some quotes which were, like comes from the ancient Indian texts. So this first one is from the Samyukta Nikaya,
Mhm.
verse 12.61.
Mhm.
So this is when this exists that come to be with the arising in bracket upada of this that arises when this does not exist, that does not come to be, with the cessation in bracket nirodha of this that ceases.
So, how beautiful this is, the law of karma.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this, that is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because that is there, something else will be.
Mm-hmm.
It's always interdependent. And when this exists, that comes to be. Means something has to be done for the next thing to happen. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't go in the mode of action, how will you get to know what is going to be the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, you cannot do that. You'll have to make one thing happen for the next thing to happen. And that's why you have to take the first step. Only then the second step will follow. Then the third step will follow. Then the fourth step will follow. So I always say it all begins with crawling, walking, running, and then flying. And that's how it is. That's how the progress of anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, with the arising of this,
Mm-hmm.
when this will arise, that arises also.
Mm-hmm.
If this is arising, if like laziness is arising in you,
Mm-hmm.
what is going to happen and you're not going to work?
Mm-hmm.
Then that is going to arise. What? Suffering,
Mm-hmm.
failure. That is going to definitely come. Failure of what? You made a resolution, but you were lazy, you did not act.
Mm-hmm.
Finish. By that, it will definitely arise. What? The failure of your resolution that year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do this
Mm-hmm.
right and act, then the result of that act, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
however big or small it is, you will always progress from what you planned. A
Mm-hmm.
mental image has become into a physical
Physical
reality.
reality.
And then when this, with the cessation of
Mm-hmm.
this, that ceases. So act is always about something ceasing and new thing coming.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are asking me delivery,
Mm-hmm.
this is what it means. So karma is delivery. Delivery means there is a conception of an idea, then there is, you take care of that conception idea, nurture it well, then that thing comes into manifestation. After manifestation, it grows, then it also ceases one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when a new thing comes again.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole wave pattern happens continuously. So you should know that what you're doing now is just the beginning of something else to be done tomorrow. So you will always upgrade yourself. You see, everything in this world, even the systems that we are using today, and what was used 10 years back is different, right? We have upgraded ourselves. And 5 years from now, it's going to be totally different. So things get upgraded over a period of time. So something cease and new things come up.
This I did not know this is the meaning of this, but you have completely applied it in a very practical sense.
Yeah.
So I think when now we will this will be easier, right? Like this is somewhat you can say a formula, like to remember that when this will happen,
If you do
that will
this,
also happen,
that will
that will
happen.
happen. So and if this does
If
not
you don't
happen,
do this, that will
that
not
will
happen.
happen.
You
So
understood?
I mean, in every case we can
Yeah.
apply it.
And again, the ceasing. If you stop,
Hmm.
then everything will stop.
So it is saying that with the cessation of this, that ceases.
Yeah,
Matlab, with the
means
cessation of this, it's in our hand. It's not like the cessation is going to be depending on something else.
no, you don't act.
Mm-hmm.
You will not get a result.
Yeah.
So simple it is. If you stop this, everything stop.
Hmm.
Right? It's so simple. So people don't understand. But on the other side, every time you progress, something stops and moves to the next level. So that's why you says that stopping, don't get attached to stopping.
Hmm.
Many a times when you're doing an act, you will come through a point where that act reaches a point of saturation and you need to
Yeah.
move up.
Hmm.
At that time, you have to let go of that and move to the next level.
Hmm.
You have to let go of that and move to the next level. Isn't that what we teach in Shunya also, meditation?
Yes.
One step after the other, you let go of that, you take the next step. Then let go of that, you take the next step.
Hmm.
If you don't even begin,
Hmm.
where will you go?
Nowhere.
Yeah.
So here, when it is saying when it that arises, this is going to arise, and that ceases. So again, just to clarify, when it says with the cessation of this, that ceases.
Yeah.
This is just like a simple fact, right? Not something to do with expectations here.
No, now when you cease to act,
Hmm.
will not that resolution cease?
That will cease.
Exactly. That's what it is saying. When you stop this,
Hmm.
that which was related to this will also stop.
It's just that, not something to do with my, because it's also saying if this is going to happen, that is also going to happen. So
Absolutely.
that is an expectation or no?
Yeah. So that is your destination. That's your goal.
Hmm.
It's not an expectation. It's your goal. See, if you walk towards your goal,
Hmm.
so this will lead you to that,
Hmm.
right? If you stop towards
Hmm.
your goal also is gone. It'll never
Give
come.
me an nice example of what is the difference between expectation and a
So
destination.
expectation is that you're just mentally dreaming of
Hmm.
something to happen to you.
Hmm.
Okay. Or you do something like you take a seed and you sow in the soil and you expect the big plant to come. Okay. It's not going to just be there. There is between the cause
Hmm.
and effect, which is the expectation. The cause and expectation,
Hmm.
there is something called conditioning.
Hmm.
That is very important. Without that, that will not happen.
Hmm.
Okay. So you have to understand that it is all related to your cause and effect and conditioning.
Hmm.
So one has to understand the process that through conditioning one can achieve what he is expecting from life,
Hmm.
right? But only dreaming of it will not work.
So expectation is leaving out the part where conditioning is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So conditioning is where we have to put in our effort. It's not like something that if this is there, then that will also arise. Technique, love the technicality of it, that we need to understand the. It's like reading between the lines. The reading between the lines is we
No,
have
there
to
is no reading between.
know
It's very simple. Because of this,
that.
that is so. When you stop this, that also stopped. When you begin this, you might reach there.
So this means conditioning.
Whatever you're doing in the moment,
Okay.
if that moment is in alignment with your resolution, with your intention, with your conversation, then this will lead you to the final resolution, your intention, your conversation that you had.
Hmm.
But if you stop this,
Hmm.
then everything else will stop.
Hmm.
The back and the fourth also. So now this can happen anywhere between the 8 steps that we'll do.
Hmm.
If you stop anywhere in between,
Yeah.
everything will go away. It's like
Yeah.
a chain. You break one, the whole chain is gone,
Chain.
right? We never say the half the chain is broken. We say the chain is broken.
Hmm.
The same thing happens. Once you start something, there are these steps that one has to fulfill. And if you start one, you have to continue doing that till the end. So that is why we say be consistent, be disciplined. Why do we say this? Don't stop. Don't stop. If you stop, finish, then you are not able to going to achieve. You should continue, continue, continue. Right, wrong, leave that. That's not important. Every wrong will push you to the right. Every right will propel you to move forward again. So,
Hmm.
so simple it is.
Hmm.
But people fear doing something because if it goes wrong, then what?
Hmm.
I'm saying how lucky you are. If it's going wrong, you're being pushed to right.
Hmm.
Isn't that good? And if you go right, then you propel yourself to do that again and you do it faster. So it's actually all the things is like the water flowing from the top to the bottom.
Hmm. But it's only when, like, we are already equipped with the idea that it's not laziness or something like that. Like when you're saying something is going wrong, then they hone do. Fir.
No, that is carelessness.
That's what I'm saying. Like
So
they
if
need.
he says, say for example, somebody is doing something and something finished, it means it went wrong.
Hmm.
For example, what he had planned, it did not work, he left. At that point, he says, forget it, I do. If he is not ready to change,
Hmm.
accept, and transform himself, then move towards what is right, then he has just given up. A person who gives up, how is he going to be called as a winner? he's a loser. And losers do not complete resolutions. It's the winners who complete
Yeah.
resolution. And winning every moment, every step, winning in the mode of your resolution with the power of intention and the support of conversation, and then executing that whatever you had mentally into the physical world. So in this stage, it's the baby born. Now the baby has to be taken care of. The actions have to be taken care of. Now the first steps are going to be taken. You'll be very happy when you see what you thought getting manifested. You remember we were doing these sutras, and we were just thinking that if imagine if we have a sutra in a palm leaf,
Yeah.
and how beautiful it is. So when we started doing it, we got it written in the hand, and when we felt very good. It was baby step. Are you using any of those? No, right? But when you see how it moved on, and today we are manufacturing, we are
Yeah.
having a big machinery, we are setting up palm leaf sutra setup, and we can now manufacture and produce as many we want. How did this happen? Because we executed every little thing at its stage when it was necessary.
How were you able to identify that at this stage this would be it or this would not be it?
No, we work on the moment. We don't
Like,
have a
can you
future
give a
expectation.
very general example, not even like quoting something
Like
from?
if I have to go to school
Uh-huh.
and I have to listen to the teacher teaching a subject, I do that 100% at that day. If I am doing this every day, 100% going to school, listening to the teacher, studying what she gets, being disciplined, again, that's what I'm saying. Then I'm in the mode of action. Okay, action of what my intention was, means going to college. My conversation was between the teacher telling me to do this and I doing that, or then I putting that into action by doing it. Then what do you think my result would be at the end of the year?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Will
and
be number
a
one.
child who did not do that, and both of them, one who is come first in class,
Yeah.
the other one is failed. And if they sit together and say, "Yeah, destiny is a problem," then what will you say? The one who's saying about destiny is wrong. Even the one who said, "Oh, I think it's destiny that I came first," the other one said, "It's destiny, maybe I failed." It doesn't work like that. You have put in effort. It's the effort that gives you results, right? And the right effort gives you right results.
Right result.
Wrong efforts, definitely wrong results, right? So when do you know it is right effort and wrong effort? If it aligns with what your resolve is. If it does not like, means you might be one of the greatest speaker, right? But if you're speaking on in a language, okay, which is not known to people, like, then how is that going to work? You might be a greatest speaker, but your conversation is not understood, your action is not meant, is not relative.
Yeah, like a cat going and talking to all the dogs.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So you need to see. That's why I always say, as it is, you being aware at every moment what you're thinking, what you're doing, and then keeping yourself excited through your intention, keeping yourself reminded through your conversation, and keep on doing the act. That's the only way.
So when you were saying moving on from intention and everything, moving on and letting it go, you don't come whole idea is that what is moving on from resolution, intention, and by not letting it go, like you're
No,
saying,
when
having your intention powered it. Yeah,
you move on, don't you let it go.
we let it go.
Exactly.
So
When you
then,
keep on moving. So it's like when you're moving from one place to another place, you're moving away from that previous state to another state. But you don't remove your clothes, your bag, and everything and move, right? Some things you carry along. What do you carry along? Your resolve, your intention, your conversation, your internal conversation. These are the things are your basic entity that you are. You are going to be all these 8 steps. That should be your wardrobe, that should be your thing that you're taking along with you, right? And that is where you don't let go of that. But what do you let go of? Your failure or success, and move on to the next step. That is what. So you let go of the distance, the stages that you cross. You don't go and find this stage is so good, I stay here only. That will not work. So things that you carry along is this eightfold. But what do you leave is the results that happen because of your actions that will happen.
okay. I mean, you carry the map, but move on the road.
Absolutely, that's the way. You don't jump from the car, but you leave 1 kilometer, you leave that another 2 kilometers that reserve.
Yeah. So then, next one which we have is from the Maha Smriti Sutra. The quote says, "When the mind is still, all actions are good karma. When the mind is not still, all actions are bad karma.
Yeah. Now that's what. When do you know that something is right?
Hmm.
When that stillness, that alignment between your resolve, your intention, your conversation is all in alignment, your mind is still. You
Hmm.
know that. Okay. But when it is disturbed,
Hmm.
when it is not aligned, then it is definitely not going to give you the result you want.
Hmm.
So the good karma is when your mind is still
Hmm.
in balance, and the bad karma is when it is disturbed.
Hmm.
And this is a good example to say that your focus and attention is the key
Hmm.
for you to achieve your resolution.
Resolutions.
Focus and attention will bring discipline in you. Focus and attention will bring action in you. Focus and attention will make sure that you don't go astray. All this is very important for you to achieve your good karma.
Yeah, I mean, the more deeper we go with the Eightfold Path series and even the manifestation series, and how you're explaining everything, it is just making me grateful that thank God I have this practice
Yeah,
of Shuddha in my life, because in it is teaching me all of these things, when to able to still my mind, because at the end of the day it goes back to the mind
yeah,
and all the other aspects of the mind. So it is like, oh, at least that part, because that, I used to read that concentration happens from focus, focus happens from attention, attention happens from this, and this happens from the mind. And then after that they didn't tell anything. What about the mind? Wh- how to even focus the mind, and then you sharing all this idea, so it is a beautiful thing.
yeah. Actually, when you look at the mind, and when you sit in a loop of meditation,
Hmm.
it is a simple act.
Hmm.
But this simple act actually programs you for greater acts. Like
Hmm.
when we when go to school,
Hmm.
when we were kids, when early stage in a class, like the pre-primary or the
Hmm.
nursery, we were taught A, B, C, D. It
Hmm.
was the beginning of English language.
Hmm.
So they were very strict.
Hmm.
You should say it in sequence only: A,
Hmm.
B,
Hmm.
C, D, E, F, G. Then you used to add different ways of poetry. Then A for apple, and B for ball, and all those things. And I think, wow, how is that going to ever help
Yeah.
us in a thing? But if you see, after you've mastered the basics,
Hmm.
you can juggle along with that thing that you have mastered,
Hmm.
right? Because with the basics, you can create anything.
Hmm.
So every great speaker, or the one who speaks good English, or even if he is speaking whatever English he
Yeah.
is because he began with these simple practices. The
Hmm.
more he was disciplined in the early stage, the more he watched his grammar and
Very
everything.
true. Very true.
So when you look at your practice today, when you practice meditation, you're stilling the mind through a process.
Hmm.
Now that is the basics.
Hmm.
Once you master the basics, then the world's challenges are nothing.
Hmm.
But then you will juggle between those challenges,
Hmm.
and you have now mastered the technique, and that
Hmm.
is liberation.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. Moving on, we have the so from the 84 verses Bhagavad Gita, we have this quote which is, better is one's own duty, even when imperfectly done, than others' duty well performed. Better is death in one's duty. The duty of another is fraught with fear, in bracket, productive of danger.
Absolutely. You have your dreams. Work on your dreams. Even if it is a very imperfect action that you have performed based on your dreams and desire, it's still yours, because the journey is yours. If you go and you want to fulfill somebody else's dream,
This is something the whole world teaches the
exactly
opposite
opposite.
of.
Yeah. So here you should understand, in those days, they were telling that you do your duty. Even in an organization, we say you don't do somebody else's work. You do your work. What is your job? This is your job. Why are you doing the other person's job? And people have this bad habit of interfering and doing somebody else's job. Even you do your job imperfectly, it's still okay, because you are meant for that. You will become perfect over a period of, and you're doing other person's job even perfectly is useless. You understand? So this is the very important one,
Yeah.
because when you're doing other person's job, na, I'll tell you, I can guarantee you will be in top risk. You will, even though you're doing perfect, you will always be in fear.
Hmm.
You understood? It's very dangerous.
No, I have
So
seen this around you.
you see me, okay?
So, but it was so amazing to look at this thing. Bhai, apna kaam karo.
Yes.
Do your own thing. Don't
Yeah.
go here and there. Otherwise, it's not going to. It's like, I think so. you say that when a seed is planted somewhere, it should remain there.
Yeah,
If it keeps on moving here and there, it will never get watered, it will never get taken care of.
absolutely.
It will feel like it is going helping all the other seeds, but over a period of time, it will just see they become then saplings, then plants, then trees, and this one remains as a seed.
Absolutely.
It was not worthy, then it will feel like, oh.
So doing your duty, your responsibility, your account. So when you're a student, be a student.
Hmm.
Don't try to become a teacher.
Hmm.
Okay, learn.
Yeah.
When you are the eldest child in the house and you have responsibility, be that.
Hmm.
Don't try to be the father.
Yeah.
Okay, when you are a good friend and you want to keep your friendship, then be a good friend.
Hmm.
Don't try to become the boss in
Hmm.
that relationship.
Hmm.
So everywhere, be what you are.
Hmm.
And if you know that your part, if you play, that is enough. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reminds Arjuna,
Hmm.
don't take that effort of thinking whether this is right or wrong and blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
You have been assigned a job, better do that job. All the emotions keep home.
Hmm.
When you came here, then you see in an organization, this is exactly what happens. People bring all their problems in the family to the office and take all the office problems
To the
back to the family. Why? Keep it where they are. Do what you're supposed to do at
But
home.
is it easy because everybody is doing that? How do you can you like do you have any advice or suggestions as a psychotherapist that how can they do it?
Just be there and realize that this is what I am here right now and this is what I have to do. Nothing more than that. It's like when you're in water and you're drowning, would you think about going out for a vacation?
Well, let's take an example. Somebody at a very top level position, just to take an example, I mean everybody values their own position, but like Steve Jobs.
Hmm.
Steve Jobs, I think, but it's a wrong example. That guy was very zen, so he knew how to handle it, but at that level I'm seeing, and today he's just he knows that tomorrow I can get fired, or in this month I can get fired, because that somebody already is coming in and all of these
Yeah.
things happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Now how does this person deal with it? Because after giving so much to the company and all of these things, they are going to go through that problem and they would need support at home. Now when do you when you say keep those problems at office, is it that you don't seek
No, I'm telling you, when the job is there, when you're doing a job, you do your job, okay?
mm-hmm.
When it comes up to conversation, will be there. That's a part of you. I told you the conversation is going to be your
Conversation can
journey.
journey.
Intention is your journey. Resolution is your journey. Even your act is your journey. But during your action mode,
Mm.
you don't do anything else. You just do that.
Mm.
So when you're in office, be there in the office because they're paying for you.
Mm.
They're paying from you and expecting from you something,
Mm.
right? When you're at home, there are people who are seeing somebody at home. They're
Mm.
expecting something from you.
Mm.
In that expectation, and it's not wrong, okay,
Mm.
to have that expectation when you are what you are.
Mm.
Like it's you have a dog in your house
Mm.
and you expect the dog to be not sleeping, while the robbers come.
Mm.
What kind of a dog is that?
Mm.
Where it is drowsing and sleeping. There's no fun in it. You want it, hey, you're a dog. You better wait out and
Yeah, and
take
if
care
he
and bark
meows,
this.
then it's a difficult
Yeah.
thing.
So you do what you're supposed to do. And that's what it is being told here. So action means doing something that you are accountable and responsible for
Hmm.
and not shying away from that.
And doing, even if it is imperfect,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
own thing.
because see, nothing is perfect.
Hmm.
Everything is a
Yeah.
journey towards perfection.
Yeah.
So people want to become perfect and do something, but how will you become perfect if you have not gone through imperfection? So it is through imperfection your journey is towards perfection is going to begin.
Hmm.
So go on that imperfection journey. It doesn't matter.
Hmm. So, I mean, so what is this whole idea of being perfect while doing something else? Because everything is imperfect. So
No,
that's the illusion you are telling.
no, 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 no. When people do something, you do 100%. There's a difference between doing it perfect and doing it 100%. Do something 100% without keeping anything with yourself when it comes up to delivering something. Give your 100%. The result, if it's perfect or imperfect, is something else. But from your side, you cannot do 50-50. You have to give 100%. 100% effort, whatever the result, imperfect, you again give 100% effort, another imperfect, give another 100%. Someday you will reach to that stage of perfection.
Oh, so you always aim for perfection,
Yeah,
Not
you aim for
perfection.
100% delivery.
How do you unlock that 100% attitude or the
So if you're
way of doing it?
studying, if you're studying, you got there 1 hour to
Hmm.
study. 60 minutes, what will you do?
Study.
Anything else can you do?
No.
Exactly. That's giving 100%. Now, in that 60 minutes, whatever is your capacity, whatever is your ability, you will
That's what I
take in that.
wanted to
You'll
ask.
soak in that. Maybe your IQ is very high, you'll take it easily, right? Maybe your IQ is low, you will
Hmm.
not be able to get.
Hmm.
But even then, it is better than doing nothing.
Hmm.
Okay, that 1 hour is still going to contribute in some way.
Hmm.
And with discipline every day, 1 hour.
Hmm.
Can you imagine even a dumb person does this for
It becomes
365
smart.
days? He's definitely going to be smart.
Hmm. So that's how it is. Not looking at the challenge or difficulty it would bring in. It's just that if I have those 60 minutes and I have to study within that period of time, that's the only thing I should do.
Absolutely.
And not worrying about whether, oh, so this problem is a little difficult. Go through those challenges, have those things, have those ups and downs, no problem. But
Maybe in that 1 hour you were dealing with only one problem.
one
But
problem.
it's okay. You were there with that one problem for 1
Hmm.
hour.
So that's giving my 100%.
100%.
And not running away when the problem is like, so
Absolutely.
half an hour, oh, this problem is not
Ah.
happening,
Then
then
you give away
give
and give up.
away. Yeah.
Finish.
So there is one more from the 84 verses, which is ignorant men perform action from attachment
Uh-huh.
to their work. Learned men should act without any attachment, but with a desire to achieve universal welfare.
Yeah. So for the greater good,
Mhm.
when I say greater good for our series, it is the resolution that you made for
Resolution.
yourself. For the resolution, you should actually act without any attachment.
Hmm.
Don't get so happy when you said that I want 10 clients and you got 10 clients and you're sitting there. No,
Hmm.
no, no. Your resolution was about buying a house, having a car. Till that time, you cannot be even enjoying your this thing. You can treat yourself, a little
Hmm.
reward yourself,
Hmm.
but you cannot stop.
Yeah.
You understood? So this is it. So ignorant men perform action from attachment to their work.
Work.
So somebody who's attached to the work, I say how great I am. I've done, I had this resolution. I finished first month like this, and then the second month they are not able to finish. Never ever able to complete the resolution. But learned men act according to their act what is necessary in alignment with their resolution, and they are the ones who are not in attachment mode.
Hmm.
They are not in attachment mode.
Hmm.
I can assure you, by the end of the year or earlier than that, when they achieve what they had resolutions for,
Hmm.
they are already setting up the next year's resolution,
Hmm.
what they want.
Hmm.
Their dreams manifest and they keep on manifesting one after the other. And then we just surprisingly see how amazing this is, The crawling caterpillar, how did it become a flying butterfly?
Hmm. So when you say stick, this had come, the question had come that when like you give an example of a car, is it that we should realize that like there you also told that there would be many cars which would come within that 1 year also. So but if you fix a car, it's not, so should we look that it's not about the car, it's about that skill or the ability now, or what would you call it? I would like to know that the thing which now within you can manifest the car.
Yeah. So
It's
now,
about that, right?
yeah. So you have now acquired the skill set of manifestation.
Hmm.
Now you are becoming a magician.
Hmm.
You understood? So now you can make a resolve.
So these are just like my
Your training modules.
training materials, like my hat and rabbit. It's okay. Then tomorrow I'll pull out a dragon. I'll show you.
Absolutely. People are waiting for the December month where you showcase what you have actually achieved.
Hmm.
So the show is in the month of December for all the resolutions you plan. And that will be the joy that you will actually help you to set up the next year's resolution.
Hmm.
But if you fail this year, what will
Hmm.
happen?
Not
You will give
feel
up.
good.
You'll give up. Then you
I mean,
need somebody else
obviously.
again to push you. And what is life when you always are dependent on some pushers to push you, some motivators to motivate you? I don't think so. That is right. It's better that we use the two legs to walk, run,
Yeah.
right? Rather than expecting somebody to carry us.
Hmm.
So I think it is very important for people to understand that karma,
Hmm.
only action and only action can help you deliver
Hmm.
whatever you had your resolution about. No
Hmm.
other way.
So karma is the delivery agent.
Absolutely, it is.
Hmm. So then moving on, now we are touching base with those hindrances
Mm-hmm.
which come while doing an action.
Mm-hmm.
So the first hindrance is the hindrance of desire. So would you like to explain us about this? Because desire, I always feel funny, like how they put the exact thing which you would not expect there. Desire you need to manifest, right? And this is saying ki this is one of those hindrances.
So here, if you look at it, the hindrance is like the obstacle.
Hmm.
Now, you started your whole process or resolution because you had a desire.
Hmm.
How can desire become your hindrance? Because you began with the desire, right?
Yeah.
So no, it began with a desire, but it needs to then transform itself into your resolution,
Hmm.
into a vow. The vow needs to be transformed into your intention.
Hmm.
The intention needs to be transformed into your conversation. Your
Hmm.
conversation needs to be transformed into your action.
Hmm.
So where is the desire? Desire is already become into an act. The
Oh,
seed,
so it has transformed.
yes, the seed has taken the shape of action now. The desire is now become an act. Where is there desire left?
Oh.
But if you still live with desire, then there is no room for action left. You understood? So your act now is your desire. So it has moved on, it is transformed. You understood? So don't let desire, which is basically the seed, okay, remain a seed always. Move on from
Understood.
desire to the mode of action and then continue forward. Understood?
Yeah, you have very, very nicely given coined the example of the seed, because now I'm getting the clear picture out of it that it's like the seed which becomes the plant is the seed, like you always used to say.
Exactly.
I remembered it, but when you were going with the resolution and everything, to put into these words like that example, but now merging this and giving life to that example with this context that I was trying to do, and now it is so much clear that that DNA of your desire now evolves
Yeah.
into the intention part of it, and then but carrying the underlying genes, it
Yeah.
is there,
Yeah.
it is being built on top and top of it, but that like nothing is going, it's just evolving and another layer of it unveiling it out there.
Yeah.
So it's like we are putting one layer then another. So resolution and intention technically were the most important one, as you said.
Yeah.
Now it's just the permutation combination of it is going to happen,
Layer above the layer.
layer
So
above
at the
layer.
core of everything that will ever happen will be the first thing is
Seed.
resolution,
Yeah.
the vow that you took,
The vow that we
that
took.
which began from desire. But from the resolution, the vow, that second layer was that covered it up and manifested was your intention.
Hmm.
With your intention that feeded that, it gave rise to your conversation.
Hmm.
And from your conversation, you gave rise to your action.
Hmm.
So action is nothing but, if you have to say what is act, I would say your resolution plus your intention plus your conversation is equal to action. Now, next, when we'll do the next episode, you'll know that is your resolution plus intention plus conversation plus action will give you the next thing.
Hmm.
That we will keep it for the next episode.
Yeah. It's like, nah, I always believed in magic, but you are taking us through the magical part of it,
Yeah.
and it's coming into more into, that like in Diamond Sutra says, do you have those eyes which sees the dharma eyes or
Uh-huh.
something? So these are the magical eyes being developed to see the world,
Yeah, you can
which
see
is
the
magical.
interconnectedness. You can see how everything is
How
interdependent.
magical it is, a seed becoming a tree, and that is also like it's so easy. Like science is always backwards, right? To take something big and divide it to the minute level, but the universe is something else only.
Yeah.
It is saying that you taking something big and doing it small,
Yeah.
that is not a big deal. I'll take something small
I'll
and
make it big.
make it big.
Yeah, that's exactly what is going in alignment with the universe. That's why I say when you have a resolution, a desire, and giving a rise to a resolution to manifest into reality, that happiness, the joy, when you're in alignment with the universe, is amazing. That is why we say universe has these ears
Hmm.
that listens to your intentions,
Hmm.
that listens to your conversations, that watches your acts.
Hmm.
So all this is there. Whatever senses you have, definitely
Universe
it
is
also
also.
has.
Wow. So, uh, but like. I don't know whether the rationale behind how it works for the seed or everything. Should we go into that thing, or that's the magic and we leave it to that magic
No,
itself?
we cannot understand how
And
and why it
why
works, but we know for sure
that it
it works.
works? Chalega.
Mhm.
Then second one is the hindrance slash obstacle of anger.
Huh. Now, anger is something that is like when you are doing an act and something doesn't work,
Hmm.
and you start getting frustrated,
Hmm.
you start getting angry,
Hmm.
your passion is suddenly diverted towards destruction,
Hmm.
then that is not good because it's going to stop the process of act.
Hmm.
But if you take that failure, you take that challenge and
Hmm.
you make it a learning thing,
Hmm.
and you don't get angry at
Hmm.
it, you don't
Hmm.
get dissatisfied with it, but you say that, oh, this was the way it should have been done, I learned it, okay, fantastic. It's like a bunch of thousand keys that you have and lock given to you.
Hmm.
Action says keep one after
Yeah.
the other, trying one after the other. But if the first one doesn't work, the second one, by the 10th one, you leave and say, who's going to do 990? Let go. Then you have left go of your act also. But patience and endurance, you say, keep on trying, man. I
Hmm.
know for sure out of the thousand, one key is definitely for this lock. Similarly, whatever acts you'll do, if it doesn't work, try another act.
Hmm.
Try another act. Your key for completing your resolution might open anytime, maybe not in the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month. Who knows? Don't give up even till the 12th month, I say.
Hmm.
Who knows, in the 12th month, on the 30th the day, you have a magical experience. We nobody can say not possible, right? It is, anything is possible in this universe, and hence never give up.
So is this universe in a way trying to lead us to realize peace? I
Peace is
mean,
its
in
basic
its
nature.
basic
It's
nature.
we who have to realize it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when you give an example of those keys, earlier I would not have understood, but after doing practice and everything, it's more, aha, one key, नहीं हुआ,
Huh.
two key, नहीं हुआ, three key, aha. मतलब,
We
then
keep on
it
doing,
is
yeah.
keep when we keep on doing that aha वाला वो feeling रहता है ना, if we accept that it's just about
So
action.
that is why in meditation also, our practice, when we say, we talk about six gates.
Hmm.
Now the gates definitely would be
Mm,
locked, right?
and have a key.
And so you have to try to open those gates with effort and endurance.
I have felt it,
Yeah.
sometimes I have felt when I started earlier also, it was like there is this big gate and I have no power in my arms or anything, and I'm just trying to push it,
Mm.
and even slightest push I'm able to do, it just pushes me back with the crazy experience it
Yeah.
was.
So that's anger.
Huh. Then you felt anger, right? That yeah, it's not opening and everything. I wanted to open the door.
Then you have a unstill mind, and the unstill mind will not give you good karma.
No, no. Then
Uh,
I checked with. I was just thinking that why is this happening? Why is this happening? And I said, better, forget the why is this happening. Why is this not even happening? Only thing I know now, that this is how you have to count and look at the bread.
yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
So that's also again doing your action 100%.
Yeah, that time only I
Uh,
was able to finish my count, and when I finished it, then I was like, wow, this is something which is very good.
yeah.
Then going to the hindrance or obstacle of restlessness.
Restlessness. So when you go and you're restless, because effort actually should be so much that you're resting in your effort. Your
Hmm.
actions should be more effortless action,
Hmm.
but effort.
Hmm.
Okay, it should be something that in sync.
Hmm.
If it's becoming restless, you are not comfortable doing that act. How are you going to progress? Right? So if somebody tells you stand here, this is your job, you'll have to stand there,
Hmm.
and you cannot be restless. I'll just go here and there, and no, 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 it is not going to work. You holding the stance is the key. Okay, you remaining still is the key. When you are studying for that 1 hour, you have to study. If you become restless, just sit there, but your mind is wandering here and there, no way that 1 hour was study,
Hmm.
right? So a mind that is restless does not deliver an act.
Hmm.
Only a mind that is at rest
Hmm.
delivers an act. So
A
mind at
mind
rest
that
means
is
mind that is still,
at rest.
completely focused. Rest means completely focused, not moving here and there, completely aligned with the resolution, intention, conversation, and completely involved in the act. That mind is a still mind.
So
Mind at
then,
rest.
yeah, like I got your point. I just have a question which is coming to me. Like we have these people who guard these societies and everything. They have this job and they're always there sitting in that place. So if they're already going through that process, then why is it that they are not able to manifest or something? I
What?
mean,
What?
they are going through this process of where they're at rest and all of these things.
No, they are rest at the act.
Mm-hmm.
So they will get the result of the act, na?
They will get the
So
result.
if they are sitting there watching at the gate, no way somebody is going to pass away.
Mm.
But if they go one for half an hour for toilet, then they go up and have lunch, and nobody at the gate. If two people walk in and they, do something, they
Mm.
rob the society. And when this watchman is asked, he says, "Actually, I was not there." So he was not there, right?
Mm.
And that's when the damage happened.
So you mean it's not the thing directly, but rest with the act, whatever your act is.
100% involved in act is rest.
Mm-hmm.
Not 100% involved in the act is
Is
restlessness.
restlessness. Okay, so obviously, I mean, if I'm not,
Absolutely.
even if I have the slightest of no interest in that act, then I would be very restless. Like, why I have to wait here?
Yeah.
Why is this and so boring? And all of these things
Exactly.
will
That's
come to
that's
me.
the restlessness where you want to move away, you want to get out, your
Yeah.
mind is wandering here. If somebody is speaking, you're not listening, you're trying to do something else. This is all restlessness.
Hmm. So this comes after desire, anger,
Yeah.
or
No, these are different attributes,
these are
different
different
obstacles. It could come
attributes.
in anything, could come anytime.
Any obstacle can
Yeah,
come
yeah,
anytime. Then we go to the obstacle of hindrance of drowsiness.
yeah. So when you're drowsy, technically you're getting bored.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not having anything that you can enjoy with, because people think action with variation is good.
So what do you think about like when you are restless? Should you just move out of that place? Sometimes like you were put in a situation which was because we can get restless with something is not aligned with our resolution, right?
Exactly. Then why will
Then
you be there if you
so
don't
we
move
should
from there?
move out from that
Exactly.
situation.
That's being wise enough. If
Hmm.
it's not in alignment, but if it's in alignment with your resolution,
Hmm.
it's in alignment with your intention, it's alignment with your conversation, and you still are restless, something big problem. You understood? Then you made a wrong resolution. Then
Hmm.
you were not doing it right. The
Hmm.
same is with boring,
Boring.
being drowsy. You get drowsy because there's no excitement of doing what you want, because it is not being pumped up or
Hmm.
being powered by your intention. When your intention is there, anything, damn it remains excited till the end.
Hmm.
When the intention is gone,
Hmm.
when the internal conversation is gone,
Hmm.
your resolution is gone.
Intention is that internal conversation
That
being
fire
backed up.
that keeps you, right?
Hmm.
Intent with which you're doing, you want to complete the resolution, you want to make sure
Hmm.
that is the conversation that is happening inside.
Hmm.
What is the intention? Is that fire that
Hmm.
keeps on burning
Hmm.
and keeping you excited.
Hmm.
If the intent is really gone,
Hmm.
then your drowsiness comes in, your laziness comes
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
everything follows.
yeah. I
You
mean, the
understand?
moment you are not inclined towards something, all of these come in
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
picture. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, you will get bored, and
definitely.
that boredness will make you restless. Then slowly you'll start getting irritated.
Angry.
Then you'll have a desire to punch or something.
Yeah, so all can come along. If one comes, then the rest of the gang members also
Yeah.
join.
Then the last gang member, the I think the most powerful one
Yeah.
is coming to the picture, the one with the body, doubt.
Doubt. So doubt is something that now, after you've making a vow, you've taken a promise, you've gone into agreement,
Hmm.
and you have signed the agreement with yourself. You have also made the conversation, you have set the intention. When it comes to action, you're doubting
Hmm.
your own intention. No, 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 it's not possible. I
कैसे
told I would
होगा?
take a big flat, but I don't think it's going to work. I have not done last month anything. I don't think it's going to work. Do you think this person is ever going to be in any mode of action? In doubt, he has already given up.
Yeah,
He has accepted failure. Doubt is something that stops you.
Daud.
Ah. So, doubt, you should understand that when in doubt, okay, you should never act,
Hmm.
because your action is nothing going to be useful, right? You should act in accordance with your resolve.
Hmm.
That is confidence. And you can find out if the person is acting with confidence or is acting with doubt.
Yeah.
Hesitation, okay, not giving 100%, having that frustration, anger, drowsiness, okay, being restless. These are
All
all the signs
signs
of
of
a
doubt.
doubtful person who is doubting himself.
So you find a lot of cases with you which are
People have
doubt.
this. People,
Doubt is something which you have, like, not something that you wouldn't have. Sometimes desire is not so much into the
but
picture.
doubt, if it stops you from an act,
Hmm?
that is dangerous. If doubt sets you on an act,
How
it's great.
obviously.
You know,
Okay. So
you know,
doubt is also in the both
yeah,
ways of it.
all of these
All
are
the both ways of it.
all on both
You will
ways.
need anger also
Exactly.
sometimes.
See, when you have a hindrance,
Hmm.
hindrance is not the end. Hindrance is how do you navigate around that
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
move along and use the momentum. Like imagine again, I go with the water example. Water is flowing, suddenly there is a block.
Hmm.
Now that block is a hindrance,
Hmm.
but immediately beyond, below that, or around that, there is a small opening, and the water takes that path and goes. But the pressure of the water from that small hole is going to be faster
Hmm.
than the before one.
Hmm.
So the obstacle became the basis of its momentum. It became the reason. Now we know the actor Ritik Roshan, right? When he was young, the doctor had declared that this guy's backbone is, is crooked. He can never lift weight. He can never do exercise. He broke that. He changed the report in 1 year, and the doctors were amazed that we gave a wrong diagnosis. This guy then built up his own muscles. So, how did he do that? Is because he was not in doubt. He, even those who doubted him, he cleared that doubt also. But it
Hmm.
pushed him
Hmm.
to go ahead and do something without having any doubt, believing in himself. And when you let go of all that, belief comes in, and belief sets you on the path of act. So believe in yourself, have that confidence, and do the act in accordance with your resolve.
Hmm. So is there a prescription which you have for doubt?
Doubt, the only way is action.
Action.
You doubt, you think there is a snake inside a hole.
Hmm.
You put your hand, you'll not know whether
Hmm.
there is a snake inside or not. Put a stick inside,
Hmm.
put water inside, come out with your idea. If you just sit there, you doubt and doubt and doubt, either there is a snake or not a snake, you don't know, right? The best thing is do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think this is hard. The press and see. No, yeah, it is hard. You think there is nothing here. Oh, there is nothing here. You do it.
Hmm.
Doubt can only go away with action.
Hmm.
Hence,
Okay.
it's a hindrance for action.
So it is the greatest hindrance for
Of course,
action.
it is the greatest hindrance for action.
Yeah, and so like we can cover up all the other ones. Like what would be the like we shared for doubt? It is action. Then drowsiness, again action.
What else? You're feeling
So
drowsy.
only
What?
action, action,
These are all hindrances of action.
action.
And the
So
treatment is what?
action.
Exactly.
So anger.
Action.
How would you
Now,
act on
see,
your
you're
anger?
angry. Angry of it not happening. What will you do?
You'll go
You'll
and
do
do
it.
it.
Exactly.
And desire is again just you have to do it. I mean,
Exactly.
so technically these are just like some
These are
like
your
electrical
obstacles.
charges you have, right? The positive and the negative part
Exactly.
of it is just those.
Yeah.
But sometimes acting differently, but we need to realize it's just again the charge ही है ले लो और चलो
Yes.
काम कर लेते
Yeah.
हैं.
So these are the you can use them in a
Yeah,
mode of action, because many a time we stop acting because of this.
yeah.
Then the other way around is because of this you act.
Hmm.
You understand? So do your action. Maybe you're going to the gym. Okay, you feel very drowsy. You feel very boring going to the gym.
Hmm.
No ways I can do that. The only way is the action is just go there. Don't do,
Hmm.
but go there.
Hmm.
Sit there for 2 minutes.
Hmm.
Then come back.
Hmm.
Do this every day.
Hmm.
Then one day you say, I'm going for 2 minutes. Let me
Hmm.
lift something.
Hmm.
Then you'll do something. But you should not go there and take a phone and check phone and that. No, no, no. You should go there and sit for 2 minutes, 5 minutes and do
Oh,
nothing.
like that you should say.
100%. Remember, I told 100%. Do
100%.
anything 100%. Now you go there. It's like going to the library every day. Don't read a book. Just go there and sit for another 15, 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Someday you'll read the title. Someday you'll read the back blurb. Someday you'll read the first page. Someday you will start reading the book.
That was the key because I used to get confused. Why would he say this? Do it. And then, because even if somebody follows that advice, they would have their phones and then get lost with something else,
No,
right?
no, no, 100%.
So, even just going and sitting there is being
Yeah.
100%.
When on
Not doing
land,
anything also?
when on land, walk. When
Huh.
in water, swim.
Swim.
If you want to walk on water, finish. When you want to swim on land, also finish, right? Do what you're supposed to do, right? 100%.
Hmm.
People don't do that 100%. And then they expect results. How can
Hmm.
that happen?
Not happen.
Exactly.
Then, so what do you say about that? I had read this line like in that inaction is the enemy of action.
Absolutely. You don't
What
do
is inaction?
inaction
Because you
means
said everything is in action.
mental. No, I'm saying inaction means no action. Inaction means there is no action happening. If only a thought coming, but no action taken.
So action always lives on the basis of it is dependent on that resolution. I mean, because
Something.
something which is not in line with your resolution should be considered inaction.
Absolutely.
Okay,
No,
okay.
you should let go of it because it is not a part of your resolution. It's
Huh,
not
we
a part
should
of
let
your
go
work.
of it,
You
but I'm
should let
saying that
go of
we
it.
should realize that even if
I
that
should not act.
action is happening,
I
that
should
is
not act.
inaction.
Exactly.
So going and building a body, going to the gym is still action,
Yeah.
but not going is an inaction. And going in the gym and doing something else is inaction. But
Exactly.
sitting there, just not doing, but looking even at the gym is still looking at the gym. So
Yeah,
it's
you're going to
action.
the gym. Na?
Hmm.
You're not going there and watching a phone.
Hmm.
You're going to the gym.
What's the
Maybe
difference? Like even if like
you're
they
not giving
watch
100%. Na? You're going.
you,
You're not there in the gym technically.
huh,
You're on the phone.
huh.
I'm saying go to
But
the gym.
somebody who's not doing anything in the gym and the
That's
one
exactly what I
who
want.
is using the
When you
mobile,
when you're not doing anything in the gym, it is not going to be for long. You
uh-huh,
will do something in the gym.
because that's our nature.
Exactly. Human nature is he cannot remain in emptiness or doing nothing for a long time. He will act, and he will act on the basis of where he is. Okay, so the best thing is to take yourself there.
Hmm.
That effort you have to do.
Mhm.
That small effort you have to do. The rest you leave for the nature to help you to achieve what you want to achieve.
Understood. A very powerful advice you have given, and a very practical and a easier one. Like
Yeah.
if we want to start something, and if still the challenge people if are facing out there with the resolution is just whatever your resolution was. So, like for example, somebody wanted to buy a good car,
Hmm.
Mercedes. They should go and sit in the showroom.
Yeah. You go, you see there, you just watch yourself, go and watch the car, look at the car, watch pictures, watch video of the car, then go back and do your duty. That image, that
Hmm.
experience of going in the showroom, watching and seeing then that goes on continuously playing in your mind. Then every time you are trying to do something foolish, which
Hmm.
is not in alignment, that picture will come. Your
Hmm.
car will go away, man. You better
Hmm.
do this, do that. It
Hmm.
will remind you to be on track.
Hmm. So it is that automated mechanism we
Yes.
build in for us to get that reminder system that
Yes.
that image keeps on playing with
Yes,
us.
yes, yes.
Okay. So there are also these other challenges which we have listed down. It's the procrastination. So can you share that how we lead into procrastination and what is
So
procrastination?
procrastinate means the person is trying to do something because of an imagination to do it perfect and hence does not do it.
Oh, so it's
Oh.
the perfection which is making
No.
it.
So one of that is
One
perfection.
of
He
the
wants to make it perfect. So he says, not today.
yeah.
I will wait for a few days. When it will become perfect, I'll do it.
Hmm.
Okay. Second, he fears that no, at this stage it might not work. I'll do it later. He's always postponing things with some reason.
Hmm.
That is procrastination.
Hmm.
And everybody who wants to do something,
Hmm.
this definitely comes in because there is the basis of procrastination is expectation.
Hmm.
He's already expecting something out of it. Okay, that will never happen
Hmm.
because your first thing is never going to be perfect. It's going to be imperfect.
Hmm.
It's over, reiterations
Period of
after
time.
reiterations, you will reach that perfection. So procrastination is basically one of the hindrances also, where you push things for a next day, for
Hmm.
another day, when it could be done now at this very moment.
Hmm.
Right? Like for somebody who is thirsty and dying,
Hmm.
you tell him, okay, I'll give you water tomorrow. By that time, he's dead.
Hmm.
He needs water now.
Hmm.
Some things, some actions need to be done now.
Hmm.
They need to start now. And if you can do them now, you have begun a journey. And that's where you end procrastination. So, again, the discipline is the key. Doing it, maybe it will not happen. Maybe it's not perfect, whatever it is, but just start it.
Start it.
Starting is the key. Then the second one is laziness
Laziness.
again. When we are lazy because you don't have the intention, it's too boring, fatigue. You have tons of reasons for not doing something. The best thing is again discipline. Coming in, reminding yourself of the resolution, the conversation, the internal conversation, the keeping the intention right, and act.
Sometimes, people, when after this series, when I've tried to had a lot of conversations out there with the topics and everything, but I've stumbled upon one thing where people might say this, that they have so much of work since the morning until evening and everything, but the day I saw Dr. Lim and you guys working, I was like, "Ki, these guys work so much, they never have that excuse." They might say that, okay, can we do it after this, not later, after this, I'm doing this, can I do it after this? So that, from that point, it's like ki, no ways, if these people are not busy, I am to nowhere near them, I have no such a responsibility, anything, I cannot to never be busy. That would be very bad to even give as an excuse. But even then, just for when these conversations are coming into our minds, how do we tell that, like they say, from morning to evening, we don't even have 5 minutes or like this? So how will they get out of the situation, or what is it?
No, people who give excuses are lazy people.
Hmm. I mean, that's what, like, they will tell you that they want to do it, but then they will state these challenges that we start
They
very.
stay away from act. Lazy people stay away from action. And you can find them all. When there is no action, you should know there is laziness already creeped in. Finish.
So there
Then
is
no,
no.
no. This person has to be then kicked. That's why I tell you the stick. When the
Hmm.
snake is sleeping, use the stick to poke him.
Hmm.
We need to poke.
Hmm.
Then only they can wake up.
Because our resolutions are dependent on the
Absolutely.
conversations.
Conversations and action.
Action.
Now today,
So from conversation, like you said, the conversation was where we will do our networking,
exactly.
and through that network will help us, because it's
Absolutely.
not a single person journey out there.
No.
So then sometimes you'll find, like, that idea where they, like I told you, that this is how the day was and all of these things. So then at that time, if somebody we are having the conversation, how should we change that situation?
By action. That's the only
Like
way.
what action?
Like if this person is saying, I cannot do it, go and show it how it can be done.
Hmm.
Right? It's so simple. You cannot do this. How
Yeah.
simple this is.
Yeah.
By becoming an example, you get the lazy
So
people
I
to
mean,
act.
yeah, because I wanted that answer, because it should be like, if it is, the answer would have been like, if it is in their hands, then what action can I ever do?
No, no, you set an example. Examples are the best way of getting the lazy people to wake up from their laziness and do an act.
So
Then
it's
put
not
them
a.
into simple acts, simple things, start helping them come out of that sickness.
Hmm.
It's a sickness.
It's a sickness.
Yeah.
And then the next one is fear of failure.
Because there is expectation.
Hmm.
Let go of the expectation, let go of the result, do your act 100%, and then wait for what comes.
Hmm.
That's it. You study hard, give your 100% to your subject, give your exams, don't
Plus, many
expect.
people use this fear of failure for their success also. Like I have you heard some many people say that it's the fear of failure which drives them?
No, it's the fear of failure that puts them in the act.
Hmm. Hmm.
If the fear of failure takes away from the act, then it's a dangerous thing.
Hmm.
If they put fear of failure puts them on the act that they will have to work,
Hmm.
otherwise they'll fail,
Hmm.
then that's great.
Still
That's,
good.
yeah, it's very good.
Hmm.
Because you are at least aware that if I don't do this, this is
Hmm.
going to happen. But if a person does not do
No.
anything
Hmm.
because he thinks, oh no, no, I don't want, because of laziness and procrastination, all those things, definitely this person is going to fail.
Hmm.
So fear of failure is definitely the beginning of failure.
Hmm.
But if fear of failure is pushing you to do something, an action, then definitely it's good.
Okay. Then after this we have hesitation.
Yeah. It's the beginning of doubt.
Beginning of doubt.
When you have a doubt, this thing is always begins with hesitation. You don't want to do anything. So between doubt and action is hesitation.
Hesitation. Oh.
Uh, so I always say hesitation is an act which is not 100%. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It is still in
So
the
that is why it
yeah,
is in the between of
yeah,
doubt. Because doubt, there is no action.
yeah,
And then action is action, but there has to be something in between, that's hesitation.
yeah.
So what is the reason of hesitation? Like doubt, we understand that doubt is where, oh, like, doubt is technically now we don't believe in what we had started for. Hesitation is that we have started to believe that this may not be right. Is it something like that?
No, hesitation is something that person is trying to do,
Hmm.
but with full doubt. He's
Hmm.
trying to take this act,
Hmm.
right? But with all the doubt. But it's still a positive effort to come out.
Hmm.
He's hesitating, but at
But
least he started to
I
do
mean,
something.
he's in the middle,
Uh,
not there or here.
yeah. So he started to do that.
Yeah.
But hesitation can actually, if he's hesitating and something that he's already thinking that if this goes wrong, then what? And if he's hesitating and that thing wrong happens, he'll stop.
Hi, if he thinks like
If
that.
he's going to hesitate, but if it's going to be right, he will try to do it
Hmm.
more.
Hmm. Hmm.
Here's it. So hesitation is very, very like careful way of doing an act. And while
Hmm.
we are saying that don't do that way, you
Hmm.
go 100%. If you have decided, do everything before and then give 100% to the act, then you'll know what it is.
Hmm.
Hesitated acts, careful way, or showing that no, I'll do this, and then having fear of failure, and all those things coming along, and having expectations, that will stop you from giving your 100% to the act.
Hmm.
And if you don't give 100% to the act,
Hmm.
it's like putting a nail not completely on the wall
Hmm.
and try to hang a picture. Your
Hmm.
picture will fall,
Hmm.
right? If you're sure that this is what it is, hit it hard, let it go inside, then give your 100%, and then you hang any picture, it will stay. So it depends.
Hmm.
Don't act in hesitation, act in confidence. That's the way.
Okay. Then the next one is indecision.
He has not even started. He's still in this
Not even
metaphor.
taken a
No action has
resolution.
been done. He's indecisive. Yes or no? Where you want red dress or yellow dress? Oh, let me think. And he's still deciding. Do you think he's taking action? No
No.
ways. Such a person is not even begun his journey.
Hmm. Then the last one here is ignorance.
Ignorance is when I don't know.
Hmm.
I have no idea. The person doesn't even begin his act.
Hmm.
Ignorance is the first part where people don't even want to explore,
Hmm.
because actions are a new experience because you explore
Hmm.
an unknown part, right?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
always say you're knowing the edge,
Is
right?
knowledge.
And going beyond that edge is knowing.
Hmm.
Ro- Staying within that edge
Hmm.
and saying that this is it, I don't know,
Hmm.
not why, is ignorance. So when person limits himself and doesn't want to do anything,
Hmm.
then that a person is ignorant person. Such a person cannot perform acts.
Hmm.
He can only repeat what he was doing.
Hmm.
So a salaried person who is not ready to take that next step for
Hmm.
running a business is going to remain ignorant about the business for the rest of his life, but will live safely in the small pond
Hmm.
of his salaried life, living happily ever after.
Hmm.
So that's okay. They say ignorance is bliss. He lives in that blissful world. But always, when he sees another friend of his becoming a businessman, looks at other businesses, he'll sit and he'll think, oh, maybe it was not meant for me. It is meant
Yeah.
for them. Okay, I'm okay with doing what I'm doing.
Hmm.
So that is
And
also,
they have reasons also, like he would have so much stress,
yeah,
all of those things.
they
Like so
they
much
have
stress.
tons of things that they have
Yeah.
failure. They find good reasons to validate what their
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
is. They say that the sea is very dangerous,
Yeah.
the pond is more safe.
Why to risk
Yeah, why should
ourselves?
this sea water is salty,
Hmm.
the pond water is so sweet,
Hmm.
everything.
And that guy is just full of now.
Yeah, but
Head
they
is full
forget
of high.
the
Now they
pond.
don't know.
They forget the pond depends on the rain.
Hmm.
If no rain, the pond can dry, but
Hmm.
sea doesn't dry.
Hmm.
So they forget that. So ignorance is where they live. Okay, I'm a salary job, no problem. But once the job goes away, there is recession coming in, then the pond is getting dry, and then the whole thing comes. Oh, if we had some alternative source of income, it would have been better. I never took a journey towards the sea. I remained separate in a small pond. So it's like that. People have to understand that if
Not
you
to limit
have an
ourselves.
intention, if you don't have a resolution, if the resolution is saying that I just want to continue living my happy life,
Hmm.
that's so easy now. They live with that. It doesn't matter. You find your reason what you want. But if you have a desire, that desire remaining unfulfilled is the cause of suffering,
Hmm.
right? If you have a desire that is fulfilled and you're happy with that fulfilled desire and you continue with it that way, it's still okay. Your resolution should be there in alignment with what you're doing. You continue doing what you're doing.
So at this age of life, how should we form our not just this age, but like many people who would be in my situation, how should we form our opinion? Because safety and security is what is being preached, right? And I'm not saying sea is unsafe or something like that, but the idea of not going into sea is being safe and secure. So, but that's still not bettering ourselves, and that's limiting ourselves somewhere or the other way. So, what approach should we have? What idea that you have given, if you want to just summarize it, so we can hold, uh, keep on contemplating on it or something like
So
that.
it's like if you have a ship and you don't put the ship in the water ever, but you
Hmm.
want to keep the ship forever. One, the ship someday is going to become,
DK.
decay and it is going to die. The other one is take the ship in the sea. Maybe it crashes the first day. Who knows?
Hmm.
Right? Maybe it explodes into the other parts of the sea
Hmm.
where you have fortune.
Hmm.
You don't know. But when you can play safe,
Hmm.
I mean, you have to take the risk, but play safe. It's like taking a two-wheeler.
Hmm.
You, when you say you want to play safe, so safe that you take this two-wheeler in your hand and you walk,
Hmm.
that will be foolish. But when I say play safe, is wear your helmet,
Yeah.
drive within that speed limit, look at and follow all the rules, and then go.
Hmm.
But drive,
Hmm.
don't stop, don't walk along with the scooter. So
Hmm.
your youth energy is that scooter energy that you
Hmm.
have.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, you just need to put the accelerator, but with the right pace, following all the laws,
Hmm.
following and taking care of all the precautions that are needed, the helmet, the gear, whatever it is required, and then go with the speed that is required. Don't walk when you have the energy, because
Hmm.
there will be a time
Where
where you'll
we'll
have
not
to
have the
you'll
energy.
lose all this energy and momentum. So I always say that the youth is the best time to use your energy in the maximum that you can do, because what y'all can do at this age,
Hmm.
it's very difficult for us to do,
Hmm.
right? Because we will get tired, we
Hmm.
get exhausted, the body exhausts at a particular time.
Hmm.
But y'all are in prime youth,
Hmm.
full of energy.
Hmm.
Now channelize this energy towards your resolution,
Hmm.
towards your goal, towards your dreams, towards your desire, and see yourself there very soon.
Hmm.
And I think that will be the greatest moment for y'all to tell the story to the people next time,
Yeah.
that this is how I began, this is what I did. Y'all continue doing that.
Hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a uh, amazing advice. So, before moving on to the activity list, there are these. I just wanted to ask you about this great epic which we study, as you have quoted, and we have read even the verses from it. Even Arjuna had this moment, the great warrior who was said to be, where when we read, it's like
Uh,
he's saying, "My hands
and
are shivering, the bow is falling down. All these anxious thoughts and everything." So even he had doubt, he had worry, he was anxious, he was just going to run away from the field. And there Krishna, you say that, says, hey, you perform action, leave everything. So like, you have read it, and you have done a show also. So can you just take us through the whole thing if you can?
Yeah, so there, this scene, this epic
Hmm?
Mahabharata,
Hmm.
showing this scene of the war between two families,
Hmm. Hmm.
the Pandavas and the Kauravas. And
Hmm.
on one side, there is this mighty army of the Kauravas and this meager army of the Pandavas on the other side in the big battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Hmm.
And the greatest warrior of that time
Hmm.
is Arjuna,
Hmm.
okay, who, with the support of Krishna,
Hmm.
the you can say the wise one,
Hmm.
taking his chariot, is all set for that first day
Hmm.
where they're going to begin the war. And it was a war of being right and right
Right.
against the wrong, right? And so the war was already taken that we will go in war.
Hmm.
Whoever is against us, we are going to kill them if they don't submit. So
Hmm.
this was very clear.
Hmm.
Now, when Arjuna is going and on the point where he has to start to shoot and do an act, he suddenly starts thinking. And that thinking process is saying, oh, that's my teacher out there, Drona. That's my, great grandfather, Bhishma. He's my brothers all there. How can I kill them? It's such a big, great sin. That's not right. Why should I do this and all this? My hands are shivering. My legs have become weak. I'm trembling. My bow, my Gandiva is now falling down. Hey, Krishna, I cannot do this. Sorry. Krishna reminds him, hello, you took a vow. At that time, didn't you think all this? Your duty is to take care of this. A man like you, a warrior like you, giving up before even you started. What a shame. You think the people after this will ever remember you as a great warrior? You're just giving up. You're not even tried. You don't even participated. And you're giving all this emotional drama to me. Keep your emotions aside, take up your bow and shoot the arrow at the ones who are against you, who are stopping you. See, this is very important because action is taking care of all the emotions. Krishna is giving a prescription that, hey, you guys who are emotionally weak, whose legs tremble, whose heart palpitate, who have anxiety, worry, stress, who feel that weakness, who get in that emotional drama, the only way is
Act.
face the fear, act, don't stay away, don't give up. And then the problem here is people have to understand that Krishna had the problem with his near and dear ones. Okay, one is the conditioning when it comes from his parental lineage. That made him weak.
Arjun.
Many a times our conditionings, our family history makes us to think the way we think. Then second is the teaching he got from his teacher. So that kinds of creates a kind of program within you. So many of we have been conditioned with our parents. We have been conditioned with our teachers who have given us ideas and concept of how life is and how you have to live with that. Then your time you spend with your family, relationships, that gives you concepts and ideas, and because of which you get into attachment. And this attachment is the biggest weakness that man has. It does not let him perform the duty he has to perform, the most important one. And that is the vow that he has taken. So when you are trying to complete a resolution, you're trying to complete a vow, stop your emotions by going into action. Yeah, clear?
Yeah, clear. And so then you very rightly said that Krishna was telling us how to deal with emotions. And I think it's emotions which don't let us go into those actions sometimes.
But it's emotion also that lets
Also
you go.
lets us go into
So
an action. Both the ways.
Krishna reminded him the emotion that began it all
Yeah.
was your wife was insulted, right? In
Hmm.
the big hall, the
Hmm.
palace
Hmm.
hall, in front of everyone. She was undressed.
Hmm.
Okay. And that time you took a vow.
Hmm.
That time you decided that you will kill everybody. Now what happened?
Hmm.
Did you forget that emotion because some other emotion came in?
Hmm.
No, 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 no. So when you in the month of January took a decision, took a resolution, wasn't that an emotional decision
Hmm.
that you will get a nice car, you'll get a nice house? It was based on emotion, good life for my children, a nice vacation. You did that emotion. Now suddenly in the month of February, when you're facing challenges, you're forgetting that emotion. And you're taking now, no, this emotion and that emotion is troubling me. Oh, then you're weaker than Arjuna. No wonder then Krishna will have to come in to make sure that you wake up. Otherwise, you will not win the war.
Yeah. So what about the people who would have not taken it with emotion and with rational? Because New Year resolutions people tend to have decide rationally also, or
Yeah,
is it
but
only
every
emotion?
every emotional thing is rational also,
Rational
right?
also.
Yeah, you cannot say I love my mother
Hmm.
and then go and hug another mother.
Hmm.
You will go and hug your mother, right?
Hmm.
That's rational.
Yeah.
Emotions are rational only.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, in the right form of it, it's rational.
yeah.
But when it goes decline or something
No, but
happens,
you should remember the emotions that put you into action
are right.
are right. Emotions that take you
Take you
away
away
from
from
action
action are
are
wrong.
wrong. You understood? So if you have fear
Hmm.
and this fear makes you work hard, good na.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if fear tells you don't work, bad.
Hmm.
If excitement stops you from working, then it is wrong excitement.
Hmm.
If excitement keeps you going,
Hmm.
fantastic.
Hmm.
Whatever your actions are,
Hmm.
whatever fuels this action is all good.
Hmm.
You understand? Whatever stops this action is not good.
Hmm.
But in both ways, for when that action, whenever I say action, it's in alignment with your resolution.
Hmm.
Okay, there would be actions which you should not be doing.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
at
exactly.
that time you should have the action of not doing that action.
Which was I was going to ask you that where Krishna gave us this beautiful advice on to do the act. Now where we go into the picture of like you slowly took us to the point where right action and there are actions which we should not do. Then I saw that Buddha comes into picture, because then like you were telling that at the end, when it was asked who is going to lead this
Sangha.
sangha, so he says it's Panchashila. So,
Yeah.
and you said that Panchashila is the thing which puts you in action.
Yeah.
And these were, then I was just, oh wow, matlab, one is giving us the action, and then even, I mean, they both have done the both things, but like, the famous stories are where they, yeah, he's telling us all about action, but he's saying about those actions of five non actions, the, because it was like, what, where is this filter of my, how do I know, how do I even know this action is good or not, it's right or not? And then the apt action, as we are saying, what is the apt action? So there were these Panchashila. So can you share about that?
Yeah. So one is when you're making a statue.
Hmm.
Okay. One way is to make the statue according to the image you have.
Hmm.
Right. That's what you're doing. So you focus and do that.
Hmm.
Don't do anything else. Just keep sure that whatever image you have, you make that stone into the image that you already have.
Hmm.
Okay. That's what Krishna says. Hey, don't think here and there.
Hmm.
Just do what is supposed to be done.
Hmm.
That's your duty.
Hmm.
Carve the image. Buddha says the image is already there. Don't worry about that. You take away everything that is around that image.
Hmm.
Okay. Don't harm anyone.
Hmm.
Okay. Don't take something that does not belong to you.
Hmm.
Don't disturb the harmony of the society. Don't make false claims. Don't get intoxicated. With this, what will happen? Your mind will be focused.
Hmm.
With mind being focused,
Hmm.
you will be able to concentrate. Concentrate on what?
Hmm.
Your work.
Yeah.
And that is what you need. So both are saying it in a
Both are
different way.
saying the same
Yeah.
thing.
So one is saying focus, the other is saying don't get distracted. You understood? It's the same thing.
I mean, exactly the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like if I tell you, hey, please take a right. Then मैं अगर हिंदी में बोल दूँ take a right, it's the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Then now that we are already discussing, you also shared about that there is this concept called pratitya samutpad,
Yeah.
where the karma actually is related to the most with pratitya samutpad. So can you share about pratitya samutpad?
So Pratitya Samutpad is a very Vedic concept.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Samutpad means accumulation.
Okay.
But what gets accumulated is because something gets added.
Hmm.
So every time, where one thing gets added,
Hmm.
a new thing is born.
Hmm.
Right? You take two wheels
Hmm.
and you put a piece of wood between that, you have a cartwheel ready.
Hmm.
Right? You put all the other parts of wood around it, now you have a cart ready. Now you put two horses tied to it, now you have a chariot ready.
Hmm.
So you see, when you keep on adding, you're
Hmm.
getting things, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Pratitya Samutpad says that everything that you see right now
Hmm.
is not independent. It is dependent on many things that it is there.
Oh,
So the seed
is
gave rise to the sapling. The sapling became the plant. The plant became the tree. Now in the tree is all the other three.
hmm.
You understood? But it is transformed. Okay,
Hmm.
so now you have to understand that every act is preceded by a previous act,
Hmm.
is preceded by another previous act, and
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
It could be a mental act also,
Hmm.
where it all began,
Hmm.
but it is always an act,
Hmm.
and that will give rise to another act.
Hmm.
So Pratitya Sumudpa says that current,
Hmm.
okay, this present life that you are living.
Hmm.
Okay, for example, you have your resolutions, but right now in the month of February, you don't have a car.
Hmm.
You don't have a house that you planned. Maybe the income that you planned is not there.
Hmm.
So there is, he's saying this is your current situation. It's an effect
Hmm.
right now
Hmm.
because there should be a preceding cause which you don't know why you don't have.
Hmm.
Okay, we don't know what other causes,
Hmm.
but this time the fact is that you don't have.
Hmm.
Now, what will I do now so that I can have that in the future?
Hmm.
So my conditioning of now, that working, my action now will give me the result of the future.
Hmm.
You understand? So my current effect is because of an unknown cause. Okay, past. My current cause can guarantee me or give me a futuristic
Future is.
effect. Okay, so actually, I can move from my past to the future in my present. Okay, and Pratitya Samutpad says this is how it goes.
Hmm.
Okay, and it talks about the 12 linked ways in which one can understand that how things are born and they die, and then again they are born and they die, and how they go through the whole process.
So I'll just share those with you if possible, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
please, we
talk
can.
about those, because here you have clarified the most important part where because we hear all of these things, act without attachment. But when you gave us that Pratitya Samutpad, it was very clear that why.
Hmm.
Because the result is not now, the action is now.
Yeah,
So, I mean, when the result is there, be attached as much as you want, because that is the result. We are not saying don't be attached with the result, or that is expectations and everything. But the line here, which was the important line, is act without attachment. Because in the action, you're not going to have the result. That's obvious.
yeah,
It's the like you clarified it, that you do something would have brought you here, that it's okay, we don't know whatever it is, but from here we want to go somewhere, then we have to start walking from here, and those steps I can only take now.
yeah.
And
So you see, you asked me what is the formula. I
hmm,
told you cause
cause,
and effect.
yeah.
Okay, and between that is conditioning.
Hmm,
Okay, now do you agree to this?
I
Yes.
agree, I agree.
Okay, if there is some effect, there has to be a cause.
Hmm,
If there is a tree, somebody planted it.
yeah.
You cannot see it just happen. If you see a house, you cannot say nobody built it.
Hmm,
There has to be something that's preceding that effect that we call cause. Correct?
hmm,
Now, when you look at this effect, okay, and your current state of your life is an effect of something that you don't know.
hmm,
Maybe because of ignorance,
hmm,
you have no idea.
hmm,
Because of sanskara or
hmm,
conditioning, you
hmm,
have no idea.
hmm,
These two reasons are because of which you don't know. Because sometimes conditioning is an automated process, ignorance is an automated process. Because of these two things,
hmm.
you're not knowing why this current effect of life I'm living,
Yeah,
right?
this is the first two.
First two,
Like
ignorance
first two
and
is
conditioning, sanskara.
ignorance and then conditioning,
Yeah. So
sanskara.
these two. Now that give me this current life.
Hmm.
Now current life, I'm actually
So it starts with ignorance. They were so nicely have put it down in the Pratitya Samutpad.
yeah. So what they are saying is your current life, ignorance, is the basis because you're not aware. You
But
don't.
they were able to understand it and they have put
No,
it
that's the
rightly.
curd know that it was a milk.
No.
Exactly. Leave it.
Ha.
So we say we don't know. Ignorance. Okay. The camera is here. Yeah. No, no, no problem, no
No
problem, no
problem.
problem. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Okay, so when you're looking at the
Hmm.
cause is basically unknown at that point, right?
Hmm.
Because we are seeing the effect.
Hmm.
Now, always remember, cause has become the effect.
Hmm.
So, cause doesn't exist at that moment because the cause has transformed himself into the effect.
Hmm.
The curd is no more a milk.
Hmm.
You don't know whether it was a milk. Now you cannot say it was a cow's milk or a horse's milk. You have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
But what do you see right now is a curd,
Curd.
right? Now
Yeah.
that you know is your present effect
Okay.
at this very moment, right?
Okay.
So present effect is tangible. Because it is tangible, you have the consciousness.
Hmm.
You can sense it.
Hmm.
You can see the curd.
Hmm.
It's got a name.
Hmm.
It's got nama rupa.
Hmm.
Okay. Now it's got nama rupa. It's got now you can actually even see the Shadaitana, means the six senses can perceive it.
Hmm.
Okay, it comes with the six senses
Hmm.
experience, right?
Hmm.
You can actually, because these six senses can achieve it, there
Hmm.
is contact.
Hmm.
You start contacting these six senses, start seeing it, and because of contact, there
Hmm.
is all this feeling that
Pata.
arises. Yeah, pasna means now you
Spar.
have feeling. Because of feeling,
Hmm.
now what happens is you are in this current state.
Hmm.
This is called your effect, right? This is
Hmm.
the world of effect.
Hmm.
This is what you're going through.
Hmm.
Now you see this and you realize if this effect is this and it is still in the mode of action, it is going to now manifest something for sure,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
It's this effect is going to be the cause of something. That's what we are saying, that
Hmm.
every cause leads to an effect. Every effect becomes a cause of another effect,
Hmm.
like the dominoes
Hmm.
falling, right?
Hmm.
Now, when you look at this effect and what is going to happen because of this effect, you're going to have the conditioning. Remember, the conditioning and the ignorance, they're going to trigger the current effect to have you to desire. So, there comes in the whole concept of craving. You will start
Trishna.
craving things because you crave for it.
Hmm.
You will want to hold on to it, right?
Upadana
Yeah, then you want to hold on to it and you wish that this happens.
existing.
That's when your future, yeah, cause is being born. Now your future cause is being set.
Hmm.
Now, because you have desired, you have started to crave for it, you want to hold on to it, birth happens.
Yeah,
And because birth happens, the cycle of death will
that
follow,
will follow.
right? And that's where jati, that's the birth,
Jati Marana,
and jaran maran
Jarana
means old
Marana.
age and everything follows. You see, beautifully they have put this into every event in your life. Now you look at that in your resolution, you will see this is the same thing. What I have right now
Hmm.
is the present effect of
Can you
the
take
life.
me through why did it the ignorance and sanskara triggered it for the craving?
Because ignorance and craving are something that doesn't is not your awareness. You're not aware of
But
it.
like first, when we were like when we are going to now apply it, the same 12 linked causations. First, it was ignorance, then sanskara, then it was I I have to pull it out.
Your consciousness,
Consciousness,
vigyan,
vigyan, and then it. I
then it
just
gives nama rupa.
yeah
Then because of nama rupa, you have the shadaitana,
yeah
six senses.
yeah
Because of six senses, you have contact, that is
yeah.
sparsha. Because
Here it is the. So where is it that we can come become aware of it
now,
from the first step or like
no,
where?
you can break this when the dominance start falling.
Hmm.
Where can you stop it?
The the point where I can, I mean,
Exactly. The only
depends.
time you have right now is the present.
Yeah.
So you only have in
So
between
where
consciousness. You
consciousness?
have it in your next is in the nama rupa.
Mm-hmm.
You have it in the six senses.
Hmm.
You have it in your contact.
Hmm.
You have it in your feelings.
Hmm.
That's the only window you have in the
Mm-hmm.
present moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a window of the past?
No.
No. Do you have the window of the future?
No.
No. So you're left with only this. So where do you work on? You only work on this part.
Yeah.
You understood? If you can work on this part, you can create the cause for a fantastic future.
So we work on our consciousness, and
You
then
work
we
on
work on
your
our
Namarupa, that's your
namarupa
concepts.
concepts.
Then you
Then we
work
work
on
on
your six
the six
senses. You
senses.
don't show any attachment.
Yeah.
Okay, then you work on your contact, means what are
Yeah.
you engaging yourself with.
Hmm.
Then you work on your feelings.
So these are also the four foundations of this, na?
Yeah, you work on the foundation of your own being.
Are these four foundations or the five skandhas?
No, these are not the five skandhas.
This comes
Panchas,
from
yeah, but
this
you have
Pratitya
to realize that this is about how things are manifested,
manifested.
how things come into shape,
So
and this
Pratitya Samutpad was
is the
the
law of
law
manifestation.
of
Yeah,
manifestation.
it's
Wow.
a very clear
So
law
maybe
of
we need to
manifestation.
have a complete
Yeah,
series
complete session.
dedicated.
Yeah, so the law of manifestation says that the one thing, this will give rise to that,
Hmm.
and that will give rise to the another that.
Yeah.
The series continues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what are we trying to tell here is the resolution that you put,
Hmm.
that was the intention.
Hmm.
Now, you did not begin this Pratitya Samutpad with ignorance. You
Hmm.
began with
Knowledge.
desire,
Desire.
knowledge. You understood? Then I told you, you set yourself with the intention.
Hmm.
Then have conversation. Now you're doing sanskara.
Sanskara.
You understood? Then because you are now conscious and you're aware and you're always remembering, then you're putting things into action, the nama rupa.
Hmm.
You see, now you'll get into the world of action. Yeah,
Namarupa.
nama rupa will come, then your six senses will come, then that's tangible things will happen. Then you'll go into sparshan, emotions and everything. All this will give you the causes for your resolution to manifest
Hmm.
in the next phase, right? With which your phase where you will then have craving,
Hmm.
right? The
Hmm.
craving of doing this again and again. You'll be in the loop. Because of craving, you'll be able to actually manifest what you're manifesting, and you'll give birth
Hmm.
to your manifested desire.
Hmm.
And it will definitely be there. It will go away someday, but it will definitely be born. And that's
Be
what you
born.
want, right?
Yeah.
You want something to manifest. You want a big car.
Hmm.
So that year you want a car, you can have that car.
Hmm. So, I mean, beautiful, beautiful how they have put down and how you were able to explain it to us. It has become clear, but I would still hope, and I think people would be interested now to even go deeper with the Pratitya Samutpad series of it, because
Yeah.
that is something which is giving it that window
Yeah.
where we are working on, and it's linked only as its name is, it's linked. So, that was amazing that how the law of manifestation is already being put down at, since so
Very
long,
clearly. Very
like
clearly.
the eightfold path since so long, and even the pratitya samutpath since so long. I believe that people would be using this just
Definitely.
since a long time now. So at that period, then first I would not believe in mythology. Now I'm like कि कुछ भी हो सकता है, क्योंकि if they knew the law like this, they would be manifesting whatever they want, right?
Mhm.
Then
So, but you see, it's not my theology. It's the spoken words of a man who knew the way,
hmm,
who gave the way, who
hmm,
taught the path,
hmm,
who led us
yeah,
through that path. He went and he climbed the Mount Everest first, then pulled down the rope for
hmm,
us to climb easily up.
yeah.
So we are talking about not
That no, no,
my
I'm not
theology or
saying
your
the
theology.
mythology in that sense. I'm saying that in mythology you can see all of these things which are very unrealistic.
Uh-huh.
But if this thing existed at that period of time, which was spoken by someone, then obviously the magic would be visible.
Yeah.
And then you would only think that if it is magic, what we are tapping into, then how deeper
Hmm.
and how bigger. And if it's the nature to make it big, 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 then how big can it get?
Yeah, but nature is magical.
Yeah, it's
Definitely
magical.
magical, but a magic that has a science.
Hmm.
And we're talking
That's the
about the
key.
science. So we are talking about the science of manifestation.
Yeah, I mean that's where mythology a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
diverts off. Okay, so now we have come to the point where we are going to share the activity list, which helps them tracking completed actions.
Mhm.
As you said that this stage is about now you have to have your checklist.
Yeah.
This is action, like how many actions did you complete? Now you have left the stage where all the mental aspect was happening and you were only putting down on paper.
Mhm.
But now whatever you have put down on paper, now you have to check it out. So, before improving, we must assess what we have already done. The first step is reviewing actions taken rather than only focusing on what's next.
Hmm.
Then, we are giving them a daily action tracker, which is at the end of each day, write three key actions you took today. What was their purpose? Did they move you closer to a goal? Yes or no? If no, was it a distraction or an unavoidable task? And then how could you have made a better decision?
I think this is a good way of being aware of what you're doing.
Hmm.
It's a good way to have a checklist.
Yeah. So one we have created, which is a journal one. So second one we'll complete this. Second one is more with your resolution
Yeah.
directly. So then we have a weekly action review. List all significant actions completed this week. Identify which ones were impactful and which ones weren't. Rate your execution from 1 to 10. What patterns do you notice?
Yeah. Good.
So the idea was that, like, for example, even if they're following the manifestation series, the manifestation is something they are going to work on to, but still they would have things that they are already having.
Yeah.
Like it's not that only do they are doing this one stuff. So this is the journal action
Yeah.
task list.
Hmm.
Then actionable items are evaluating and refining your execution.
Mhm.
First one, create a master action log, maintain a record of your actions and result. Then categorize completed actions, label them as high impact, low impact, or distractions. Eliminate non essential actions. Identify and reduce energy wasting tasks. Optimize efficiency. What slowed you down? What helped you execute faster? Then time audit exercise for 1 week. Track how you spend each hour. Identify wasted time.
Very good.
Then reflection questions are here. Measuring the quality of your actions. What were my most productive actions this week? Did my actions align with my highest priorities?
Hmm.
Which actions were distractions? What decisions today made the biggest impact? Then, how can I optimize my execution next week?
Good.
This is where we are connecting them to resolution. Are you acting on what matters? So, once we have understood our general execution, we must ensure it to aligns with our resolution and goals. So activity is action, then versus resolution alignment check. First, write down your 2025 resolution again, which they must have written. If still people who want to write it, they can write it down. Then second, list the key actions you have taken in the past month.
Mm-hmm.
Then compare, do these actions support your resolution?
Hmm.
If yes, what worked?
Hmm.
How can you improve further? If no, what needs to change? Then adjust course accordingly.
Yeah.
Then actionable items are strengthening execution to fulfill resolutions. Create a resolution based action list. Outline specific actions needed to fulfill your resolution. Then build a yes or no execution system. Before acting, ask, does this support my goal? Then identify missing actions. What have you not done that is essential? Then track execution consistency. How often do you act on your resolution? See non negotiable actions. Decide on a minimum set of actions to be completed daily
Yeah.
slash weekly. Then reflection questions, evaluating action in relation to resolution. Then are my actions directly linked to achieving my resolution? Which actions help me the most in progress toward my goal? Which habits or distractions slowed my progress? What action must I commit this week to stay aligned with my resolution? If I continue my current actions, where will I be in 6 months? Yeah, so I think this is reprinted,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing.
So I think this is very important because when you go into this self analysis,
Hmm.
or to analyze where you are standing,
Hmm.
it helps you to either slow down your journey or speed up your journey, or realize what you have to change within yourself.
Hmm.
And this is important because as you progress towards your goal,
Hmm.
or to complete your resolution, there will be many challenges that will come, and you
Yeah.
need an observer to watch your act. This is your self observation and observing your own act. You don't need a third person to tell you where
Hmm.
you're progressing.
Hmm.
So this diary or this journal
Hmm.
is the key. People don't have this habit, but
Hmm.
you should have a habit of
Hmm.
seeing where do you stand now.
Hmm.
Okay, and when you know where you stand, you actually also realize that the landscape has been changed.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when the landscape has been changed, the scene will change.
Hmm.
And when the scene changes, your life will
Every
definitely
life will
change, right?
change.
So that's exactly our journey of
Hmm.
karma is. Karma is beautiful because I always say karma boomerangs.
Hmm.
You know,
We had put a picture of boomerang.
yeah. So karma boomerang. See, whatever you give will come back to you. It definitely will come back to you.
Hmm.
Only thing is when, how, where, in what way we don't know. So the only best dana is to give,
Hmm.
right? Give as much as you can,
Hmm.
and for giving you need to act.
Hmm.
Action is the only way you can give.
Hmm.
So give, and you will see you shall receive, receive, receive.
So thank you for summarizing it. I mean, you did it, and that was a beautiful message at end. I hope everybody who had joined in, they had a good time listening. But I think it's time that we act now. That it's like the journal has already given a come out. Now better take up the sword and whatever it is that we face. So if there are any questions here in the studio or online, so we can take up. But I think we only ask so many questions, it would be difficult for them to put in questions.
Yeah.
But anyways, if there are no questions, then we can conclude for today.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Rajesh
Thank
sir,
you,
for
thank you.
giving the insight and all the key details which were needed. I hope now that the most important one, and even the word which you always say, that execution has this execution in it, where execution means go for the kill.
Yeah.
So just in the end, with again not again, but giving the whole idea of what is going for the kill, and how important and what idea should we have it, and why is it such an important word which was said to go for a kill.
So what you do actually when you have some work to do, you list down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And you write the little work. Then what do you do with the pen after you've done it?
Scratch it
Yeah,
off.
that is called execution.
Hmm.
So start executing, start scratching the things that you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
When you will start scratching them, or executing them, you will see at the end you will be the one who will be at the receiving end.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
So
much. Yeah.
that's it for today. And see you next time whenever we have the show next time. So bye bye.
Bye bye.